because you may become a citizen in New Zealand if you've been there 5 years. You can hold a conversation in English and are of good character proven with a police check. Summary offences don't take away your good character. That's the bar these people are using to become Australian citizens. Yes, some Kiwis are here for 20 years. It's annoying that they don't become citizens, but there's certain loopholes to certain benefits not becoming citizens. I'm talking about people who use this as an easy entry, why New Zealand is now the #1 source of Australian citizens in the 2-year period from 1st of July 23 to 30th of June 25. So it is an easy backdoor, isn't it, for someone who's come to New Zealand and come straight here.
So again, Senator, I think you're asking us for an opinion. We can give you facts about the system, but we can't comment on assertions of that nature.
They can do that, can't they?
So, Senator...
I'm not asking for your opinion, they can do that. Thank you.
Technically, someone can, as the officers have said, come to Australia on a 444 visa, and after 4 years they can apply for citizenship.
But noting they would have had to have met the time threshold in New Zealand to acquire New Zealand citizenship as well.
Yep,
So,
but that's at a very low threshold, low bar. So in that period, from 1st of July 23 to 30th of June 25, 48% of New Zealanders who are now Australian citizens were not born in New Zealand. They came into New Zealand from overseas. That's a backdoor entry to Australian citizenship with a much lower bar because they had to meet the threshold for New Zealand, which is lower than Australian citizenship. That's a much lower bar than people moving here directly and following the rules in Australia to citizenship, including passing what is called our 100-point test with at least a score of 65. This New Zealand backdoor is way easier than getting 65 on the 100-point test. Just for clarity, children don't generally need to pass the citizenship test. Can you clarify that rule by age, please? What's the age threshold?
Senator, it's 18.
Thank you. Do you understand the position that offering this pathway to people from foreign countries to come in through the back door in New Zealand without passing the points test is a slap in the face for those who have come here fairly, waited, worked, studied and did the right thing but can't get citizenship because this government rode a backdoor way for no obvious reason? Can you understand that?
Senator, we can't comment on opinion of that nature.
I have to say, I think it's pretty insulting to a lot of New Zealand citizens who become Australian citizens to talk about them coming through a back door.
I'm talking about people who come into New Zealand, meet the lower threshold in New Zealand and come here. That's who I'm talking about, Senator Watt. I'm surprised you can't work that out. If this was about working with our neighbour New Zealand, why wasn't there a provision for the pathway to only be open to New Zealand-born people rather than to deliberately set up a backdoor to let in people that couldn't pass a points test? What was the reason for that?
Senator, the policy and the parameters around that are a matter for government.
Minister?
Well, I'm trying to remember the reason the government made that change in our first term. My recollection is that it was partly in recognition that there are, because of a change that had been made by the Howard government, that there are a very large number, or were a very large number of New Zealand citizens who had lived in Australia, as I say, worked, paid taxes, contributed to the community in a range of ways, but despite having lived here for a very long time, they were unable to get Australian citizenship because of rules the Howard government imposed. That, in our view, was not fair. So I remember that being at least one of the motivations for changing the policy.
So I've got no problem with that. What I'm talking about is people who come to New Zealand, quickly meet the lower threshold for citizenship there and come here and automatically get citizenship.